Well, this is Baruch here at the Tikkun Elevator Kollel, and we're going to be learning, well, let me get it up at the top here. We can see the Otzrot Chaim. Just a brief introduction. This is the shar called Shar HaNikudim. Let me see if I can get a little better focus. Shar HaNikudim. In Kabbalah, in the beginning of Kabbalah, we learned about the world, or let's say the gate of the Akudim. Kudim is like for the words Akeda by Yitzchak Avinu, number 37, which is age at that time. And then we come over and we see that there's going to be another set of realities created, which are called the Nikudim. And he's going to count them up, and he's going to go through them, and you understand about all these worlds. These are the worlds that existed before the world of Tikkun, which is the world in which we live. Now we have here the Otzrot Chaim. We're going to read, I guess we're going to read down at the bottom. And we're going to get an idea what's going on, and let's see how it goes. The Vavayr of Lechein, a Vayr B'Techida, Seder Sheves HaMalachim HaElu, Hine Heim Min HaDas HaLamata V'Heim what? Das is number 1, is 1. Chesed is 2. Gevur is 3. Tferes is 4. Netzach and Hod, Heim Trei Palgi Deguva, 2 halves of one body, V'Heim Hey, that's the fifth. The fifth tikun, that's not the fifth in Nakuda. The Yisod is number 6, and Malchus is number 7. Ki HaNetzach, so he says like this, what's Pshat in Netzach and Hod? Nechshav and Kol Echad Chetzi Guf, they're all considered to be a half of a group of Vein Shneihem, Heim Echad Bilvad. And if you add the 2 halves together, you get 1, and that makes them together. So let's see how this goes now. He says, "Hine b'kol mamakom matzina sheshevach tzviras taktonis hem chesed gevura teferes netzach hod yisod and malchus." Now we see this every place. So that's always 7. So what's wrong? What's different about this? Amnam be'olam adekudim sheves hamalachim kololim as a das imam. The das is part of the 7 malachim who fall. V'sidra b'ku kach. Melech HaRishon is Das, Melech HaSheni is going to be Chesed, Melech HaShlish is going to be Gevura, HaMelech HaRevi is going to be Teferes, HaMelech HaChamishi is going to be Netzach and Hod together, Yachdav, HaMelech HaShishi hu Yisod, HaMelech HaShvi is Malchus. V'atam shachan Netzach v'chachod nechshav v'kamelech echad, and the reason why they're considered to be one thing, who mishum shanetzach v'chachod b'cheim haraglaim, is because they're the legs. Called regel ein omed if the you can't stand on one leg and perform anything. V'cheim nechshav and called sphera keflag gufas. Each one is considered like a half of an element or of a body. V'yidei shneihem, but if you have 2 legs, miskayim b'omed. So therefore, all the spheros which are up above it can stand on it, so to speak, because there are 2 of them. So let's see it. There are 5 partsufin, which are arich, which goes along with keser, abba, which goes along with chochma, ina and bina. These words are synonymous. Zer anpin, which is not like that exactly. It's chagat nai, which is chesed gevur teferes netzach hod yisod. Nuk the Zer Anpin, so the female aspect of Zer Anpin is called Malchus. They're called parts of Me'edoch HaChamisha Partsufim. Now each one of these Partsufim, Kolol Me'eses Spheres Kololos, will always have 10 Spheres Kololos. V'Raba'ofen Shekol Olam V'Olam Kolol Mechamishim Spheros B'Klalios, so that each one of them, when they're in their state, their proper state, then they're going to consider to be there are going to be 50 of them. That's Eric Anpen. The parts of Shalom, Kolom, Me'eses, so he came out with 10 spheros. V'lechem part Sufi Abba Ve'im, which are Chochma Bina. Yotze called Echad B'chem Kashuhu Shalom, B'kol Eses Spirishba, where it's complete with all of its 10 spheros. B'shlish Rishonos, with the first 3. He says, Yeshnam Shloshim Spheros. Then you have 30 spheros, each one times 10. Amnam b'parts of RABBI, but the 4th parts of which is called Zer Anpin. When Zer Anpin comes out in the Nikudim, and let's see what he's talking about, Lo Yatzu Kolo Me'eses Spheros, it didn't come out with a complete 10 spheros. Where are we here now? It's just Me'eses Spheros. Ki'im b'sheish spheros, except but he came out only with 6 spheros. Shehem chesed gevur teferes netzach hod yisod bilvad. V'adayin, so he said v'adayin choy chaser es bechinas hamochim shalosh shehem keser chach bebina doesn't have that. In other words, look at it like this. In keser, there's a keser, the keser, a chochma, the keser, the keser, a bina, the keser, all the way down the line. In Abba and Ima, you could do the same thing. There's going to be a Kesser the Abba, there's going to be a Kesser the Ima, there's going to be a Malchus the Abba and Malchus the Ima. Like that. All the 10 spheres are in there. But with Zer Anpen, was a Partzef. But this is a Partzef that's missing. It's missing the top 3 spheres. So instead of talking about Chesed, Chos, B'chach, and B'bina, we start talking about Chesed, because that's where it starts. It skips the first 3. So the 5th one, which is Malchus, it comes out with only 1 sphere. So it's already missing its 10 upper spheres. It comes out with 37 spheres. I just mentioned that we had Olam Akedah, which Akedah refers to Yitzchak Avinu, who went to the Akedah at the number 37. Now, here we're coming out as if the original Nekudim are coming out inside of themselves, have 37 different spheros. With amongst the 50 spheros that are potential, Shehem Shloshin spheres the Kochav, which is 30, the Sheish spheres the Zer Anpin, the sphere Achad the Malchus, 1 for Malchus. The B'Shas HaTikun, now when you come to Shas HaTikun, Nisachna v'nishnu l'partzufim ha'partzufim, then they become rebuilt and they become completed. So he said, B'Zer Anpin kibul mochin chadashim, in the mochin, which he refers to the Keser Chach B'Bina here. Or we'll say another place was called the Chach B'Bina Das. So at any rate, what he's saying there is missing that. But at the time of the Tikkun, it all comes together. As a result, Zer Anpin becomes reproductive and becomes very good. So she's missing her top 9 spheres. He said that Malchus comes out as a Malchus Bilvad. It doesn't have any of the other spheres in it. We'll see how that goes. In a way that these are completed. That is the Olam HaTikun, when all of the parts are working together. Now we have a little bit more time. Let's do a little bit more. So he says like this, the Da. Ki elu heim inyan hamalachim haniskarim b'parshas v'yishlach. So he shows you where it is. Ve'ela b'hamalachim eshechem b'malchu be'eretz Edom. This is the rest of the statement that ruled in the land of Edom, which is our brother Esav, and this is the color red. B'sof parshas v'yishlach, at the end of that parsha. Nizgru Shiva Malchi Edom Shemolchu Humesu. There it starts talking about there were 7 kings who ruled and then they died. But then after the 7 came along an 8th one. And by him it didn't say the words in the parsha, but the parsha and the pesukim, if you look at them, it doesn't mention a death. It mentions death by the other 7, but this one doesn't mention that. The Shevas Hamalacha Shemeisa Miram Zechad the Shevach Spheres Tachtana Shenishbera B'Shviz B'Shviris Akalim. So this is what this is all talking about. And once again he goes over Shehem Das Chesed Gevurah Teferes Netzach Hod Yisod and Malchus. All of those refer to the 7 Malachim who died in the kingdom of Edom, in Edom. The Indian Shivibis Akalim Yizbar the command Beprakim Shalavanena. So we're going to get into that. He said we have more to talk about. But what about the 8th Melech? Shalom Nizgro Bo Misa, the concept of him dying was never mentioned. Ramiz al Eis HaTikun is really talking about the time of the Tikun. So this is the language of the Pesukim there. Before there was any king amongst the Jews. V'yimloch be'edem Bela, and then he goes over the name, Bela ben Beor, v'shem Ira the Nachba, the Naba. V'yamaz Bela v'yimloch tachtav Yovev ben Zarach mebatzra. V'yamos Yovev Yimloch Tachtov Chusham Be'eretz Hatemani. V'yamos Chusham V'yimloch B'tachtov Hadar Ben Badad Hamake. Hamake as Midian B'sdei Moab V'shem Iru Avis. V'yamos Hadar V'yimloch Tachtov Simlach Mashreka. V'yamos Simlach V'yimloch Tachtov Shaul Marchovos Hanahar. V'yamos Shaul V'yimloch Tachtov Baal Chanan Ben Achbor. V'yamos Chanan Ben Achbor V'yimloch Tachtov Hadar V'shem Ira Pa'u. And then he brings up this name, V'shem Ishto Mehitabel Ben Matred Bas Mezav. All of those names, that was the last one. Death is not mentioned there. Somewhere, which I don't have, all of these words, let's just look at the one. V'shem Iro Pa'u, V'shem Ishto Mehitabel. All of these things, Pa'u, I don't know what to do with them exactly. This is a gematria of, let's see, 80 and 71, 56. Doesn't mean anything to me. Bas Matrad, Bas Mezoch, the waters of gold. Adkan. And later on we're going to explain how it is that every single king, let me see, I lost my place a little bit. Yisboyer, Heich Akol Melech Umelech, who Ramez Keneged Achas Meshevach Asfiras Aniskara. So how it is that each one of those kings actually has within its name, or what it is, the essence of these 7 malachim that died. Now there's a little bit more. We're going to do this number Yud. And he says like this. V'zeh b'chu pratan. This is the detail. Because Abela ben Beor who sowed the das. Ukuvarchu datichon, I'll let you know here. Ki bilam who bela k'mayim b'chazal. So it's one of bilam. Who bela. Okay, he's the Melech Hadas. V'hu besod das. Das is the central energy flow. So that makes him very powerful. Asher al kain hu shakol ba'umbas ha'odem k'moshe misa b'Yisrael. So it's just like Moshe. Shem Moshe Rabbeinu Olav Shalom. Hu b'bechin is the das elyon, different kind of das. The das is the upper das. The das that comes from the Abba Shebezer Anpin. Now let's just go over these words again because it seems like it might be important. He says again, Moshe Rabbeinu, Olav Shalom, hu b'bechinas das ha'elyon. What das is that? It's the das of the Abba, which is the Chochmah of Zer Anpin. Zer Anpin, remember, it's just a 6. It doesn't have a Chochmah unless it's a time of a tremendous tikkun, and there it is. So he said, "V'zechu inyan v'yoder b'das elyon, v'yoder das elyon." And the Ember b'Bilan, that's what it said about Bilan. V'chein b'mash amachazal, like the rabbi said like this, in quoting from the Barm. He says, "Al pasuk again, v'lo kam navi od b'Yisrael lo kam lo kam." But in the Goyim they did. It's explained elsewhere. So let's go over this and let's see what I can do. Let me get this on the page a little bit better. So he says like this. Sheva Sfiras Atachton Shenibro Heim Keneged Shiva Hamalachim Hanizkarim Besof Parshas V'Yishlach. Okay, so we said that. Because we really want to nail this down. I mean, they come from Edom. So Edom is what? Edom is blood. So I'm not sure what the metaphor is exactly why we eat it, but Edom also represents our opponent, our main opponent in the world, which is our brother Esav. It explains like that, but the Chila, Maskir es ha-melech ha-rishon ha-nizker b'Torah, shehu Belach ben Beor, v'hu keneged Sfiras Hadas. Is also the same thing as Bilam Arasha. Became Shemelech Bella, Malach Bella, or Melech Bella, Hu b'spheres hadas shenishbro. It has to do with that first sphere that breaks. We said over this. Now let's see if I skip something. So he said, Melech Bela, who Bilam Arasha, the Kevin Shemalach Bela, who B'Spheres Adas, so it's Melech Bela, with Spheres Adas, Shenish B'Rom is Boyer, as we said up above. But Bilam, Gam Ne'emer Bo V'Yod Das Elyon is also related to this upper Das. Because there are always opposites. If there is something really, really good in the world, there is also something really, really bad. Shako connected Moshe Rabbeinu b'tzad kedusha rushuhu b'bechinas das ha'elyon da'abba v'shabazah. The Haida Shazer Anpin Mikabo Mochim L'Achra Atikun, that he receives Mochim. These Mochim after the world is going to be revived, which is called the Olam Atikun. Now, just as I've said many times before in other shiurim, Tikun, which we use it to mean to be misaken something, is to build it or repair it. And that's true, but actually what it refers to, and remember this, is Hismatus Ha'or, always limiting the light. That's the tikkun, because the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu is not one that we can stand, but on the other hand, we need to grip that and attach ourselves to it. But for us to do that, it has to be small and channeled properly, balanced. And this we see now, we're going to see as we come to the Olam Atikun. Let's finish up now. L'achar Atikun ba'aba ve'ima. So the Haida Shazer Anpin Mekabel Mochin L'achar Atikun from Abba ve'ima, and he grows as a result of V'chi Yozer Mekabel B'chinas Chabad. So we said he gets a Chochma B'ina Das now. Ma'aba, who Nikra B'das Elyon. B'uma B'chinas Chabad Shemekabel Me'ima Shuhu Nikra Das Tachta. Now that's a little different languages. That's interesting. So he says that Abba, the connection with Abba is Das Elyon, and the connection with Ima is Das Tachta. This is what the rabbi says all the possible. Kom Navi O B'Yisrael Kamosha. Shemoshe Rabbeinu Choyagodol Hanavim Daika B'Yisrael. But his greatness was only in terms of the panemius that he understood as a result of his connection to Das Elyon. We just said a definition of that is the Das that flows out of Abba. But that's only by the Jews. Ak B'Tzad Klipos. Kom Navi Kamosov, there is a Navi came like up above him. Shuhu Bilam Arasha. Kevin Shuhoy Beso the Das, the Kalis, because he's the Das of the other side. Interesting mirror images. This is the Shir, this is Baruch.